Okay, this afternoon I'm just going to go through some of the techniques, basics of cleaning a chain on a bike. And in order to do that, I've got some ingredients here. The degreaser that I'm going to be using is white spirit, and I'm going to be using this piece of kit. It's called a Park Tool Cyclone, and that's the chain scrubber, and that's the gadget that will be used to get the muck off the chain. And then of course, to keep everything clean, I've got some gloves to wear. Okay, this is the bike. It's a very basic giant mountain bike. I've had it for many years, and it's used for commuting to and from work. And as you can see, the back wheel here got lots of rust on it, and the chain looks pretty grotty, so it needs a bit of a clean and a bit of a service. So here goes. So just to make things a little bit easier, I've put the bike on a bike stand, and I've put some rags underneath the chain because there's an awful lot of drops of white spirit and muck onto the floor. So I'm just going to try and save the floor a little bit. But you can really see here just how bad this chain has got. The colour of the wheel and the sprockets behind here, it's looking pretty grim. There we go, long overdue. This is the Park Tool that I'll be using to clean the chain, the Cyclone. In the next slide I show pictures of what I used during the process, various oils and cleaners, white spirit and so on. All good stuff. So by rotating the chain set, the pedals anti-clockwise, and holding on to the Park Tool chain scrubber, you can then begin to get the chain saturated with degreaser, and you can see it's already starting to come a little bit cleaner, and some of the gunk is falling onto the floor. That's the rag that's just picking that up. So I'll continue doing that, and hopefully we'll have a clean chain at the end. So what I've done is I've taken the wheel off now, and I've given all of the rear cassette a really good clean. I've got some, I think it's called Chain Cleaner by a company called Morgan Blue, and that's really helped to get rid of some of the muck and the grease, so that's helped with cleaning that. And I've given the wheel itself a bit of a once over, and then over here I've cleaned around the back of the chain and the derailleur. It's looking a little bit better now, and I'll just put it all back together and make sure I put some wet weather lube on there. The roads are still pretty bad around here. It's getting on towards the end of January, and I reckon within another week or two it'll need doing again, but it's worth doing just to make sure that the bike works reasonably well. It is a commute to work after all. Okay. So that's the job done. It looks a little bit more respectable. I just put some chain lube back on. Just make sure you do this, because obviously if you've used any thinners on your chain, you've got rid of all the oil, and you need to replace that, otherwise it will go rusty very quickly. So that's the end of the process really. I've given the wheel a good clean, and the rear sprocket and the front sprocket. The derailleur has been cleaned, the little sprockets down there, they pick up a lot of dirt. Anyway, that's the job done. It'll do for another couple of weeks.